Go figure, right? I have the nicest guy who trips over himself to accommodate me while still being an active parent, and this happens. I have friends who have had wretched divorces, and their exes are alive and kicking and mean. I guess that's life. And death. She kept trying not to cry. A closet door was open. Brodie could see that a man's clothing was still hanging there. She hadn't begun to pack up yet. "Did he talk to you about what he was doing?" Brodie asked. She nodded. He planned on seeing a Mr. Keegan, head diver and in charge of the expedition for the Victoria Elizabeth, and he corresponded with Miss McCoy, who was going to do an exhibit on the exploration, the discovery, and the history of the ship. He thought his documents were really the most important for her. She would be displaying them, but then again, he didn't know if anything he had would be useful to the Sea Life crew. He had plans of the ship, building designs, and the proposed storage of the cargo. It really bothered him. He was such a humanitarian. He fought for human rights, and it was so important to him that people see what was done. "Yes, we do know that," Liam said softly. "Did you talk to him once he got here?" "Of course. We talked to each other any time we were traveling. When he left on a trip, he let me know when he was on a plane, and when he landed, I did the same for him. It's nice knowing that someone cares that you get somewhere safely." She swallowed. "He came in at night and called me because he just loved this place, said he loved the couple who run the place, Bev and Dan. I think they own it. He had never stayed anywhere like this before, where it was like visiting family, where everyone was really nice, where they talked to you." "Bev was very quickly fond of Arnold Ferrer," Brodie acknowledged. She nodded. "That's it. To know him was to love him. This makes no sense to me, no sense whatsoever. I mean, it couldn't have been random violence, right? You don't kill a man and stuff him down into a ship in 100 feet of water, right? Just randomly?" "No, we certainly don't believe that it was any kind of a random act," Liam said. "As far as you know, was Arnold talking to anyone else?" "I've gone over this in my head 1,000,000 times, Adelaide said. "He called when he landed, and he called the next morning telling me how great the B&B was, which I understand. It was so sweet of them to just keep this room until I could get here. When I walked in, though, it took me a minute. It was almost as if Arnie would appear, but—"
"Adelaide," Brodie prodded. "Did he talk to you about anyone else?"
"That night," she whispered. "He was here, the one night. Woke up and called, and then later in the day he called again. He was so happy. He said that he was hurrying out. He had a meeting. He was very excited. He said that people wanted to be helpful. In fact, he said that people were coming out of the woodwork to be helpful."
"What people?" Liam asked.
She shook her head sadly. "I don't know. But I had a feeling that the meeting had just popped up. He wasn't seeing Ewan until the next day, and then he wasn't going to see Miss McCoy until the day after. If only he'd spoken to me more plainly. If only I'd been more curious."
"Do you think that he had an early meeting with someone he was planning to see?" Liam asked. "Or someone new? Someone who came out of the woodwork?" Brodie asked.
She shook her head miserably. "I have no idea. Haley was running around when I was talking to him, and I went to see what she was up to in the kitchen. I just said, 'Great, have a wonderful time, and tell me about it all later.'"
"Don't feel bad, please," Liam told her. "Even if he'd given you a name, it most probably would have been something made up," Brodie told her. As he spoke, he noticed a guitar against the wall near the closet. It was halfway covered with a jacket. "He brought his guitar," he murmured. Adelaide's eyes widened.
"Oh, yes. He loved playing, and he was very good. I'd always promised him that he could take Haley to lessons when she was a bit older. Now I'll be the one doing it. But she will play, and if she plays like he does—"
Brodie got up and wandered over to the guitar. Since Ferrer's death, another musician had drowned. He hadn't seen bruises on her body, as if she'd been held down, but then maybe the bruises would appear by the time of the autopsy. And again, maybe she hadn't been forced into the water, maybe she'd been pushed in, and at such a distance from the shore that she wouldn't have had a prayer of making it in, unless she was an incredible swimmer.
"Please, you can pick it up. The police finished with this room. They have all of Arnie's documents at the station, and they've looked through everything else."
Brodie lifted the guitar. He played a little. He'd never been considered much of a musician, but he did love the instrument. "A Fender," he said.
"He traveled with that guitar. Yes, his Fender. He had others. One that had belonged to a famous guitar player, and I can't remember which." He took very